Assalamu alaikum dear doctors. In this video I am discussing about VSD, ventricular septal defect, and these topics I have taken from MRCPCH Theory and Science book, case number 6. So VSD is the most common form of congenital heart disease, 25%. VSD initially causes a left to right shunt, and the size of the shunt depends on the size of the VSD and the level of the pulmonary resistance compared to the systemic resistance. In large VSD, non-restrictive, the pressure is equal in the right and left ventricles, and the ratio of the pulmonary to systemic resistance determines the shunt size and direction. After birth, the pulmonary resistance falls and the size of the left to right shunt increases, causing symptoms of heart failure. When the pulmonary pressure is increased to equalize the systemic pressure, the shunt will become bidirectional and Eisenmenger syndrome can develop. In small VSDs, pressure restrictive, the right ventricle pressure is normal and the size of the defect limits the size of the shunt. So, VSD is the most common congenital heart disease, 25%, and it is a left to right shunt. Remember, VSD is initially left to right shunt. There is large VSD and small VSD. Large VSD, there is pressure is equal between the right and left ventricles. So, in case of large VSD, when the pulmonary pressure is increased to equalize the systemic pressure, the shunt will become bidirectional and Eisenmenger syndrome can develop. So, from the large VSD, there is Eisenmenger syndrome develop. And in small VSD, the right ventricle pressure is normal and the size of the defect limits on the size of the shunt. Now, large left to right shunt reduces the effective cardiac output and the body compensates by increasing its intravascular volume and end-diastolic volume. The volume overload can cause pulmonary congestion and symptoms of heart failure. The VSD murmur is usually loud and harsh in small defects due to the significant pressure gradient across the defect, while in large VSD there is no pressure gradient and the murmur will be quieter. So we can learn that in small VSD the murmur is loud and harsh, where in the large VSD there is quieter murmur if comparing small VSD. The ECG is usually normal in small VSD, or it may show signs of left ventricular hypertrophy. In a large VSD, the ECG shows left and right ventricular hypertrophy, and if there is pulmonary hypertension, the P wave will be tall. In larger VSD, the X-ray may show sign of pulmonary congestion and cardiomegaly. Echocardiography is important to confirm the diagnosis, and it will show the position and size of the defect. It can be used to estimate the shunt size and the pulmonary pressure, and to exclude any other abnormalities. The cardiac catheter is not important for the diagnosis and should be considered only if added information is needed or to assess the pulmonary resistance. So, we can understand that small VSD there is left ventricular hypertrophy, in large VSD both left and right ventricular hypertrophy. And mainly important for diagnosis is echocardiography. In echocardiography, important to confirm the diagnosis of VSD. And P wave is tall in ECG. That's also an important point. So please do subscribe and share Dr. Emma's Medicine YouTube channel. Thank you.